Thank you so much, Margot, for explaining what's the idea behind this, what's now called Publishers Living Handbook for Diamond Open Access. You mentioned sustainability. So sustainability at first during the project is related to the results of craft-oa. The idea behind the Living Handbook is, of course, to have a comprehensive reference work that describes all the outputs of the project and provides direct links to them. The aim is not containing the results itself, because they are distributed and there are sometimes better places, for example, to put code or something else, but to gather them all together and make them available via a one-stop shop. So the Living Handbook is the place where also many training materials that are produced within the project are curated, structured and referenced, but not deposited. There's something else better for, we learned. And of course, the Living Handbook should be a resource for everyone who publishes and seeks information about Diamond Open Access publishing in an openly accessible and user-friendly way. That is quite important. And here's the bridge to the future. People who have an interest in craft-oa results can visit the Living Handbook, but for the future, of course, the Living Handbook as being living can also be enriched and revised with other content. What the Living Handbook is built on, so the foundation for this Living Handbook is that the group who developed it took into account a lot of community feedback, because it's a product from the communities for the communities. So we gathered community feedback on design and content and sustainable editorial workflows. We are very grateful for the 2 great craft-oa summer schools organized by Masaryk University Press. First one in Telč in Czech Republic, second one in Coimbra in Portugal, because they gave us possibility to meet with the community and get into exchange. Very important, of course, for the Living Handbook in terms of sustainability is also that we consider interoperability. That is, we referenced, of course, the workflow, the vocabulary that was developed within the Diamus project and get into the common access point that is now the EDCH. And also for creating the Living Handbook, the Diamus tool suite structure, providing good templates for articles within the Living Handbook is referenced. And last but not least, another craft-oa result that is called the craft-oa reusable curriculum for upskilling trainings. That is a perfect reference for training materials. The Living Handbook offers different ways of entry for users. So they can browse for content as journal editors, technical staff members, and publishers so far. But, and there's a lot of there's support for different subjects and activities, just as you can read it here, for network and communication, and guidance and policy management, of course, working with OJS, training and exercise increasing visibility, and users are addressed on different levels. So entries are recommended whether you are on a basic or advanced knowledge level. Access can also be given for, or you can search also for different tools, reports, and trainings, of course. So there are a lot of ways to address the content and approach the content. We call this the core version. The core version ends with the end of craft-oa project. The Living Handbook is based on a concept that gives the framework for the whole workflow, how to process and design content. Content results, of course, are delivered during the project by members of the project via templates containing metadata and information. Their process and editorial review were conversed into entries and then implemented within the Living Handbook. For the next phase, that is beyond craft-oa, during the consolidation phase, of course, the concept should be continually adapted by a governance board, and you see slight changes. We will go into discussions concerning sustainability, but anyway, Living Handbook will be sustainable, will be offered and presented as a sustainable instrument for the community, by the community, continually revised and driven forward. Thank you so far.